My mama always told me that I was gonna be a golden child. I'm sorry it took a while. Think I needed time to try and figure out how we about to get it.
Yo. What's poppin', y'all? What's poppin'? Oh, man. Oh, man. We got a story to talk about with y'all today, bro. And we got to really talk about music and how the music industry is honestly about to change for real. Like for the whole future of the music industry and the consumption of music is going to be different. And we need to specifically talk about UMG, Atlantic, and all these different various streaming platforms. And the reason why we need to talk to them, well, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Hold on. First, like, comment, and subscribe to your boy. Because you know what? We just went over 1,000. And I know that we could get some likes on this videos. Y'all ran up to a few of the other videos that I put out. And I appreciate y'all for that. But and also, if we're going to comment in the comment section, we could always talk. Just make sure we keep it respectful. But also no, please don't kill me. These are just my thoughts. Oh, side note. I got my Discord server. I don't know if anybody be in Discord and everything. If you guys want to be seeing us and everything and interact and all that other stuff off all this, go check out my Discord server. Link in the description. So now why we need to talk about UMG and music and everything and how all of this is changing. Because I don't think I've talked about this prior so many times. I remember talking about it from when I said my Drake is the industry plan video. I believe it's that one. Y'all should go check that one out too. Banger video. Overall, I was talking in that video about how, and it all really goes back. So we really need to take you back now. To understand where we're at now, we need to go back. And we need to go back to the times of LimeWire. And now you're probably wondering, the fuck is LimeWire? To all my young boys that's in here, you know, the ones that's probably under 17 and don't know about LimeWire. LimeWire was a file sharing service. And what LimeWire did was it basically was pirating music. So Soulja Boy, that's actually kind of how just a fun fact, that's actually kind of how Soulja Boy got popping, because he would basically crank that Soulja Boy on there and he would name it a different song, and everybody's thinking that they're downloading like a Jay-Z song and they downloaded a Soulja Boy. Just a quick fun fact about Soulja. That's how he kind of got popping. So now fast forward, once with all that file sharing, and it actually probably might have started before that with was it Napstar, or I can't remember which one it is specifically, the name of it, but it's a file sharing service. And then basically that's really what killed the game. So now when we fast forward years, the music industry was already trying to figure out how can we start making sure we get money from this, because they realized that they were losing a lot of monies on album sales, because that was predominantly how the music industry was making their money, was on the album sales. That's why the hardcover album was so valuable. So now we fast forward again, and then also, you know, there's still the whole licensing deals that they do with the music and everything like that. But those hard album sales really mattered back then. That's why pirating was such a big thing. So, well, not so much pirating, let me say file sharing, because that's really what it was. It was peer-to-peer file sharing. So now when we fast forward, iTunes, and we got to also introduce Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was one of the first rappers to drop on iTunes. I don't know if anybody really remembers this. When Lil Wayne had dropped the Carter 3 on iTunes, went crazy. And that was their way of saying, hey, we realize that we're not going to be able to stop people from pirating music. So now let's get ahead of the curve and say, hey, you can just buy it from us directly to your phone. Because that was the biggest issue. People were like, man, I remember when you first had iPhone, I don't know if people remember this, when you had to open up iTunes, you had to go to the old section. You had to go to your computer, you had to download iTunes on your computer, then you would have to download the song to your computer just to put the song, make sure you plug your phone in. It was a process. If anybody remembers, if you know, you know. And that's just to any people that do know. So now fast forward, they're realizing now this is where we're at, because you remember now the TikTok situation where they were going crazy saying, hey, we need more money, because it's always ultimately with these record labels, it's always about the money. How much more money can we make? So fast forward with TikTok now, YouTube, all these different streaming platforms and DPSs that could literally just distribute your music, it's come to a point where they realize they pretty much capped out the market. They have capped out the market. So now what happens when you cap out the market? Like, it's more to a point. Think of it as, imagine if you're selling t-shirts, right? And if I'm selling t-shirts and I sell a t-shirt to every person in America, and every person in America has my t-shirt, the only thing now I can do is either try to get everybody in America to buy a different design for my t-shirt, or pretty much nobody else buys a t-shirt until they need a new t-shirt. Now, so do you get where I'm going with this? I don't know if you guys get where I'm going with this. So I'm more saying that, so because they basically capped off the market is pretty much where they're at, nobody else can pretty much buy into what they're selling. It's like, think of now Netflix, for example. Netflix. I'll use Netflix as another example. When it seems so much people had Netflix accounts and people sharing Netflix account, that first what Netflix started to do, they started making saying, oh, if you share this account, you can't be logged into this account if this account isn't there, or, you know what I mean? And then what did they do? Now that they got everybody off of the other people's accounts and everything, sharing accounts, and then on top of that, making other people buy their own Netflix account. Now, okay, you got everybody that you could possibly get. What else do you do now that nobody else is probably going to be getting a Netflix account, because you probably got every family in America with a Netflix account now, pretty much. And this is just some of this is exaggeration, but I'm just saying, bear with me, y'all. So what do you do now? Now you gotta raise the price of something that's been a certain price and has been ingratiated into the mind of, this is the price for this. It's like when they try to raise the price of gum and you're like, what the fuck? Inflation, you know what I mean? It's just is what it is. So now with this coming into play, now the music industry is trying to figure out new ways to cap off the market, because they're realizing, hold up, nobody's really buying any more Spotify subscriptions. Nobody's really doing, like, YouTube is pretty much the biggest DPS in all of the industry. It's more people are probably watching YouTube than anything in the world. I think they said 5 billion. I think YouTube gets 5 billion. It's either they said 5 billion people tap into YouTube a day, or YouTube does 5 billion streams a day. I think it's the second one, because to think 5 billion people tap into YouTube is kind of crazy. I don't even think, is there 5 billion people in the world? No, I don't think so. Okay, you know what? That's neither here nor there. So now back to this. The music industry is about to be in a very, very weird place, because now when you look at everything like that, it's really kind of fucked up. And you're probably wondering why I'm saying everything is fucked up. Because now with all these labels at a standstill, what are we about to have? A label war. And we had one before. I believe it was like it might have been like early 2000s going into like from 2000 to 2010. It was a little like label war. You know what I mean? Like, but now this is where labels are going to start trying to buy out shares, a lot of shares of other labels. It's going to be a lot of corporate things where you're going to see oh, this person owns this person now, this person owns this person now, this person owns this person now, all of a sudden. And then out of nowhere, somebody's going to be on top, or somebody's going to be a majority owner in somebody else's company. So don't be surprised when you see a lot of different things transitioning. Also, don't be surprised when you start seeing this AI introduced into music. I'm telling everybody now, I'm not trying to be funny. They use this Drake, and I still say this to this day. They use Drake and Kendrick to introduce AI to people. Even though AI has always been here. It's always been here. AI has been here for a minute. They just now started to evolutionize it. And now it's at a point where when you look at the AI, it's very much going to be a point where you're not, and I'm not saying that people are dumb, but it's just more getting to a point where, are you really going to be able to tell the difference? It's really to that point where soon the AI is going to be that good. And you're not even going to know if it's music from from the artist that you love, or something AI generated. And then that just puts a whole nother money pool, monetization, all that other stuff. Just think about it like this. Imagine, you see how people get copyrighted for music, right? On YouTube. When you get copyrighted, if you put out a song from a rapper, most likely he's going to get copyrighted. Now, imagine if I just make my own beats. Imagine if I just make my own beats and everything, right? And from making my own beats, and I just take some lyrics that I made, and I just go generate, let's just throw out a random rapper, one of my favorites, J. Cole. I'll just go take J. Cole's like voice and say, man, I don't like the way my voice sounds. I'm about to go sound like J. Cole and say, could you imagine never having to pay for a feature? Saying, hey, this is me and featuring Drake, or me featuring Playboy Cardi, or me featuring Big Sean. Anybody. Just think anybody. I don't even have to go see the people anymore. It's like, where does the point come where you have a right to your intellectual property? And now we're going to get into a whole nother thing where who owns this? Because I made it, but their person's going to be, but this is my likeness. You get what I mean? So just be expecting a label war. Be expecting music to never be the same again. Within the next, it's not gonna happen immediately. They're giving to us in increments. It's baby spoons. They're baby spooning it to us so that when they finally put a whole plate of food in front of us, it doesn't look like such an unfamiliar meal because we've already been eating it. Whoa, no diddy. We already been eating it for how long? So you gotta, once you just start looking at all that, I just hope people start paying attention. That's all. But please don't kill me, y'all. Like I'll be trying to tell y'all, these are just my thoughts. What are y'all thoughts for real on this? Y'all really think music is, y'all see, I don't know, do any of y'all really see music changing before y'all eyes for real? Or am I it's just me, or am I bugging? Because like, if y'all think I'm bugging, let me know for real, because I don't know, maybe I am bugging, you know what I mean? But overall, it's your boy Icon Got You, aka the voice of the casual, aka Mr. Leather on Butt. And like I always tell y'all, always be you and never be afraid to reinvent yourself. And I'm out.
Oh, Con, you the best.